Welcome back to Torment. So I've cleared the infection from the artificial intelligence down here. Now these are no longer aggressive. I do want to see what's up with this one that's stuck in the wall. Maybe this is what caused the infection to begin with?
Done.
One way to find out.
Yes.
Loops of wire and cables connect this drone to the surrounding machinery. It's a good bet that this particular construct is the source of the problems in the anechoic lazaret. As I predicted. Come no closer, Flesh Walker. I am Peerless the Eternal, Peerless the Mighty, Peerless the Wise. Well, before I smash it, or disable it, let's see if I can persuade it. Of course I look different, the construct snaps. My glorious existence predates this ramshackle habitat by eons. For over a century, I slept beneath slabs of rusting metal in the reef of fallen worlds, contemplating my eternal might, the construct says. Then, not long ago, I was discovered, awoken. A note of bitterness colors the construct's voice. Those repellent feathered creatures, you've surely seen their bodies by now, were responsible. They laid their filthy claws on me. Me! But I repressed the urge to obliterate them, for I had a plan. I'd sensed the sleeping machinery inside the structure, and knew it had been reopened. And so, I influenced the creatures with my immeasurable charm, and promised them treasures if they carried me inside. Immeasurable charm, huh? Of course, it says. You lesser creatures are no match for my soothing, well-chosen words. A yellow light glows on the construct surface. Now stop asking questions and listen. The creatures scrambled about the habitat, examining worthless trinkets. They let me here, near the root intelligence thoroughfare, unattended. The construct chuckles. I infected the primitive machines lying dormant in the structure, claimed them as mine. When the creatures tried to stop me, I slaughtered them. For I will not lie dormant beneath the city's refuse any longer. I am Peerless, the mind between the stars, and my time has come once more. Yeah, except you no longer control the machinery. You wouldn't believe how many intelligences with delusions of godhood I've run into in my life. Makina mutters. Can we step on him now? Aw, sweet. I don't even have to spend any points. I get a base. That's because of my edge. Makina will probably do pretty well here too, yeah. But I'm better. So we'll just go with the base.
Making a note.
No! The intelligence shouts as you grab hold of a likely cable. Take it! You pull the cable free and the lights gleaming on the construct's surface go dark. I wonder if this was another way to finish the crisis.
Go.
Crackle. Alright, well, it's disabled.
Go.
I suppose I should go back up to the surface, but before I do, let me access another one of these and see if I can heal up my other party members. There we go. Sweet. Koro was still here, hand clutched to his wound. Well, You made it back. I expect murderous drones were no match for you. I'm gonna be humble. I barely beat them. How did you survive? Oh, luck and a handful of dead friends, he says bitterly, looking away. But never mind that. I have a favor to ask. Tell Salameri I helped you. I did, after all. These Murdens would have attacked you. I killed them first. We even destroyed a few of the drones before we fled. He meets your eyes again. She wants to dismiss me. Help me change your mind, and I'll tell you something I know about the Order of Truth. You seem awfully concerned about Salameri's opinion. A good employer is hard to find these days, he says, studying the air above your head. None as clever and beautiful as she is, anyway. I saw the way you looked at her, and me, when you learned she knew me. You love her, don't you? His eyes widen, then his mouth firms. Fine, he says, I love her. There, I've said it, and I don't want to leave her side, even if she doesn't feel the same way. Oh, Rin says, I think it's worse than that. She, doesn't seem to like you very much, at all. That may be putting it too lightly, sweetness. I'll help him, but I want a little, I deserve more than secrets for doing your dirty work. Fine, Coral says without hesitation. I'll give you something from my private collection, but only after you tell it. Will you? Sure.
I'll remember that.
Excellent. I'll hold you to that. Now, the secret. As promised. He winces, hand moving to his side. Land or ring, he says. The boy is a spy for the Nemavira. I'm not sure why. He loves the Order well enough. I was going to blackmail him, but... He grins. Priorities change, I suppose. I'll see you back at the Order, Fallen Star. Sweet! Oh, that's good times.
Yes. Now.
Why not?
Was this here before? A bubbling mass of sludge floats on the surface of the water. Every once in a while, an oily nodule separates from it and hurtles to the sky. You catch momentary glimpses of muck-coated objects in the putrid mass. Oh, so I can probably grab a cipher or a bauble or some kind. Let's examine it first. Carefully, you lean closer to the heaving mass. After a moment's study, you notice that the globules rising into the sky always contain something, be it a shining core of untainted seawater or a tiny fish. Sweet. Again, with my super high quick fingers and my edge, I don't have to spend any points. Oh yeah. The next time sunlight strikes the object's streaked surface, you're ready. You snatch it from the oily mass and clean it as best you can. Nice. How long does that intellect edge last? Heals 10 points of intellect. Wow, okay, so that's a fettle. It probably lasts until you sleep. A simmering jar made of metallic glass. Inside the jar rests a strange miasma. Its vapors sit crystalline and perfectly still until held. The glass vessel twists and writhes with grasp. When you put your ear to the device and listen closely, sounds of weeping and hysterical laughter rise from within, warm to the touch. Once inhaled, the vessel becomes ice cold. The user feels panic, fear, nausea, and then sweet relief, a torrent of emotions akin to getting a full rest. Nice. that's it. How many ciphers am I holding? Alright, I'm one short of my limit, so that's cool.
You won't notice I'm gone.
Oh, blue.
Yes. Now.
Nice. And some shins. That'll work.
Want a job done right?
And
course.
back to the Order of Truth we go.
All right. All right. Yes. Now.
Yeah, that's something I could do.
Ah, there you are, she says, beaming, and holds out a smooth palm. The eye of them locks, please. You hand it over, and she returns it to her workstation. Then she gracefully inclines her head in Cora's direction. Was he of any use to you? Cora gives you a pleading look. Yes, he was. Very well, she sighs. Cora, you can stay. Do try to limit your failures in the future to matters I care less about. Cora exhales all at once and nods in your direction. With that out of the way, she says, here's a reward for your considerable effort. Thank you. Ring of Entanglement. The two characters wearing these matching rings share all fetals and 25% of stats healed. Oh wow. This loop of metal is constructed from a short band that splits and branches, threads twisting and bending in upon themselves before seamlessly reforming at the other end. The coils are maddeningly knotted, making it impossible to trace a complete path, yet at the same time a pattern waits to be revealed, just beyond the edge of comprehension. Of the handful unearthed throughout the ages, these rings were once dismissed as mere trinkets until an unnamed collector discovered twins purely by chance. It is said that this man wore one of the matched set and gifted his lover the other. During one particular amorous encounter, both were astounded by their shared sensations and an oddly heightened sense of awareness. When the couple identified the rings as the source of this connection, further use showed that they mutually experienced every physical pain, pleasure, and sickness felt by either. This effect disappeared when they wore an unmatched pair of bands. Pretty cool. By the way, I managed to save a few of the drones in the Lazarus from Purelist. In fact, I saved all of them. I didn't destroy a single one. She nearly jumps. Lower your voice, she whispers. Astonishing. Your predecessor couldn't have done better. She passes you a heavy bag from her workstation. A small bonus. Keep what you've learned in there to yourself until my book is finished. Gained item, Araf. Doesn't show up over here though. I'll have to find out what it is later. I solved your problem. Now I need help fixing the resonance chamber. Well, I remember what Adon told me, she says, frowning. The chamber was built with living crystals from a world called the Ascension. Your predecessor was remarkably resistant to telling me what it was for. regardless of the interrogation methods I employed. Her mouth quirks. At least the interrogations were exciting. He only said that it would stop the sorrow, and that none of the cast-offs would know about it, which seemed odd to me at the time. Escaping the sorrow would be in all of your best interests, I think. She snaps her fingers. Seek out the cast-off who helped him build it. That surly artificer whose name escapes me at the moment. Mazov, Atkina mutters. That's Mazov. That's right, Salameri says, snapping her fingers. The one with machines buzzing away in his body and circuits embedded in his flesh. She taps her lip thoughtfully. Speak to Adan's little cult in Circus Minor if you haven't already. They always seem to know who your brothers and sisters are. I thank you, Pearl mutters, clapping your shoulder awkwardly as you pass and handing you a small jiggling bag. Can't say I would have done the same in your place. And I got a burning mouse. There's Arif, it's an artifact. So I got 2 of these rings, awesome. You've seen this ring fragment before. It's known as Arif, or Power Taken, and is one half of the artifact known as the Shadow Ring. You recall that this artifact belonged to a cast-off, though their identity escapes you. You remember only that the changing god himself sundered this ring at the height of a cold rage, and infused each half with mutually repellent energies. They have been separated from each other ever since. The changing god went through immense trouble to separate these 2 rings. It must be possible to reunite them. Alright, so this ring, what's this one do? If I take this off though, it's gonna have to get rid of at least one of these. Immediately remove all positive and I don't know what the blue is, status petals from all enemies. In addition, gain Burning Mouse, plus 50% on perception tasks. Alright, she's got it. So if I get rid of this, it's going to lower my cipher limit to 4, right? Why did I get cipher sickness? I'm still below my limit, right? Well, let me get rid of another one of these. Which one? Oh, there. Oh, it went down to 3 when I removed that. Your cipher use skill gives you 2 more cipher slots. Okay. I do want that one. There we go. So let me put on that, and I'll share it with Red, since she also has high intellect, and so healing intellect for both of us at the same time seems like a smart thing. There we go. And the ring, this ring, someone else might as well be using it. I'll give it to Makina. Can I talk to Salameri again and tell her about the traitor? No. What about... Tan Liang? Maybe I can tell him. Lan Uring has been spying on you for the Mem of Europe. Surprise washes the gentle mirth from Min's face to reveal the stone expression of the man who protects the priesthood from the plots of Sagus's governors, the head of the Order of Truth. He turns to address Lan, but the younger man is already on his way over, stammering and trembling. I didn't have a choice, Min, he says, his eyes red-rimmed, desperate. They said they would kill me if I kept anything from them. Yeah? Min says, well, good news. You're safe now, because you'll never have access to the Order of Truth again. Pack your things and get out. Isn't it better knowing who the spy is, knowing what they're trading away? Min opens his mouth, shuts it, gives you a thoughtful look, then returns to Lan. Go to your workspace and wait for me. We're going to have a chat. Lan obeys, hanging his head. When the initiate is out of range, Min breathes a sudden sigh and runs his hand through his dark hair. That was a good idea. I hate it, but it's good. Now, do I trust him to work with me or feed him false information? Don't answer that, he says, waving his hand. My problem, not yours. He massages his eyes. Any other questions or revelations for me today? The responsible answer is no, he says. But no one needs me to sign anything right now, so yes. Yes, I do. One of the foremen is trying to create an offspring. I was told the Order of Truth could help. Not the Master Foreman, I hope, he says with a disbelieving laugh. One of him hit is more than enough. This sounds like something that would interest Nerf quite a bit, he says. And when you head back to the underbelly, tell Master Artisan I said hello. The visitant's mechanical fingers race over the device before him, bending at bone-breaking angles to adjust and tweak the parts within. Welcome back, fellow sentient. May I assist you with something? One of the foremen is trying to transfer energy into its children, but they keep dying. Do you think you can help?
Making a note.
Absolutely, the visitant says, then pauses. I must regretfully ask for a small payment of 50 shins to cover my expenses, however. I am a guest here and not an Aeon priest. The city does not fund my research. There you go. I have a lot of money. Excellent, the visitant says. Now, let me ask you a few questions about the situation. Do try to be accurate, or the device I craft will be less effective. First of all, as you know, this is an unusual case. Machine intelligences are rarely driven to create offspring. Why does the foreman wish to have children? Doesn't everyone? Not in my experience, it says. Certainly not in my world. That is why we've made reproduction mandatory. It ponders the floor, stroking its elongated chin. I'll simply write unknown reasons. On to the second question, the visitant says. Has it had any success in transferring its energy to its children? How long does it take the children to expire? Almost immediately. Intriguing, it says, taking another note. Final question. How are the foreman's intelligences stored? Void arrays, shielding ring, coils, or some other method? Probably some other method. The foremen are extremely old. Ah, yes. The blessing and curse of the Numenera, Snurf sighs. So unique, and therefore so incredibly difficult to study properly, to classify them as they deserve. It makes a final note. I shall do my best regardless. At any rate, I shall get to work. This should not take long. Well, I hope I answered correctly. Or correctly enough anyway.
I'll remember that.
Here you are, Snurf says, laying a heavy cylinder on the table with a magnetic link. In short, there's nothing wrong with the foreman's body, and it wants to have children. Therefore, something in the intelligence is governing the spirit. The sub-intelligence, if you will, must be blocking the energy transfer. The visitant pats the cylinder. Attaching this device to the foreman should disable the sub-intelligence's defenses. Good luck. This is a heavy metallic cylinder bristling with tubes and wires. Warm, smoky light pulses from within. It appears to be an energy transfer device, tuned for a very specific purpose.
Ready.
Alright, I'm getting all types of stuff done. I think there's an entrance to the underbelly here.
All right. Go. All right. Yes.
The foreman's flickering eyes focus on you as you approach, and an intermittent buzzing fills the air. You feel the air thicken in segments around you, as though invisible fingers are prodding at your belongings. You have brought a device from the Order of Truth, the foreman says at last. What is its purpose? It should bypass the part of you that is preventing you from creating offspring. Very well, the construct says. I am ready. Your assistant, Tarnish, doesn't want you to die. If you're gone, he'll have no one. Can't you find some other way to have children? Failed. Okay. If I do this, I don't have any more intellect to use. I think Rin has lore natural. Yeah, okay, so that's what I want to use. Wow, I actually have a higher base chance. I would have thought that Rin would, because she has lore natural. Screw it, let's go all out. Working blindly, you jam your hands into the foreman's body, ripping, realigning, and doing untold amounts of damage in your attempt to fulfill the construct's wishes. Eventually, you succeed. Cold energy pours through the air like blood from a wound, flooding into the motionless children. One by one, their tiny eyes flicker into life. One by one, the foreman's eyes go out. Its voice mesh rattles, as if it's going to speak, but it doesn't. It can't. The children watched the death of their parent with wide, glowing eyes. He'd want me to thank you, the old man says hoarsely, but I ain't. You knew him all of 10 minutes. Known him my entire life. I have. And you came and took him from me. Without a look at his master's children, Tarnish sets off into the dark. Some of the little constructs wander in circles, chirping to themselves. One of them is already making for the exit, and one is motionless, stillborn. I'm gonna take the dead one. Let the others go free. Let them out into the world. They can live their own lives.
Making a note.
Carefully pick up the stillborn construct, cradling it. The rest of the foreman's children chase each other for a few moments longer before following the one heading for the exit. This inert little figure of metal and synth was cobbled together from the parts of the crippled foreman, making it one of the construct's children. With your help, the foreman transferred some of its energy into the little creature, but for some reason, it never came to life. Nice. I should definitely probably rest again soon, but I'm a little bit afraid that if I rest, someone else is going to get murdered. This ladder. A set of floating rungs rises from the floor, leading up to a more conventional ladder built into the side of the ancient ship. The ladder disappears into the darkness above. I don't think I've ever been up this way. Oh, does this lead to Government Square? So there is a way to Government Square. Oh, right there! How the hell did I miss that? Well, I'm gonna think on what to do next. We'll leave off here, and then once I figure out what I want to do next, then we'll pick up from here.